It's so appropriate that I'm over here again. This is the location in the North American continent where I did my first vlog announcing the terrible incident right after it happened in March 2011. Now here we are 2.5 years later, back at the same location. Coincidentally, I don't plan to be here, usually, because I don't live here. But in any case, new developments are happening because there was another 7.1 or 7.5 earthquake. You have to look it up if you want to know the details, but it's a rather large earthquake that took place off the coast of Honshu, Japan, and it set off a wave of small tsunamis compared to the large one that came from whatever that incident was, whether it was a real earthquake or artificially enhanced explosion. We don't know still. I've heard a lot of accusations, so it's a very touchy area. I said if it was ever proven, it should be a cause for war. And I'm normally a very peaceful person, but sometimes you have to go to war. You have to stand up against evil. But what's going on now is that because there was an earthquake and there was emergency precautions taken at the Fukushima plant, they're worried. They brought everybody to high ground. There is information coming out which sounds very horrific, because possibly there's another fire in parts of the facility. I think it's number 5 and number 6. But what I want to bring you to, because I don't know if any of this can be substantiated, definitely right now I don't have any more solid information. But what I want to read from you is from a website. I'm going to put the link below and as much information as I can, but you should follow the links if you want to learn about this. The site is called popularresistance.org. Now, I don't know how I got on there, but they've been sending me newsletters. I may have signed up at some point, but I wasn't that familiar until right now. I'm reading up on the material. It seems like a really good resource, and if you know about it, write some more, promote it. I'm promoting it. I think that they're really awesome with their information. I think that their attitude is really good. I think they're very spiritual oriented. So again, it's called popularresistance.org, and they're just basically saying here, I'm going to read about everything you need to know about the Fukushima crisis. And the newsletter actually has more in there than what I'm finding on the web page, but I didn't look at the whole site. Number 1, you need to know 3 nuclear reactor cores melted down. Nobody knows where they are, but they're still creating heat, because obviously the heat and the radiation can be measured, but there's no way to go in there. Probes or robots just melt and get destroyed. They can't even function to find out where these cores are. So these cores are definitely melting down, and that's basically what they call China syndrome. Number 2, TEPCO, which is the company that's supposed to oversee the facility and responsible for anything dangerous, they finally admitted 300 tons of radioactive water had been leaking into the Pacific Ocean over the course of 2.5 years, with no end in sight. The water problem could easily get worse. Okay, that we already knew about. I was reporting on that earlier this year. It also came out in the mainstream media. I think it was, what was it, in June? So people should know about this. I mean, unless you're like sticking your head in the sand like an ostrich. This is a terrible thing that's going on. Now, what was I reading here? Number 3. 11,000 spent fuel rods are considered to be the most dangerous things ever created by humans. They must be secured. The most urgent are 1,533 rods that are stored 100 feet above the ground in the reactor number 4 building. It's buckling and sagging. Yeah. So this is a very important, very significant, very difficult thing to contend with. But that's the factor. Over 1,500 rods, which are stored above ground. You know, they have these like attic, storage facilities. That's how they design this thing. You know, like crazy. You know, I think a child could design something better. But these are in danger of catching on fire, collapsing. When they collapse, they're gonna, like detonate, or whatever scientific words you want to use, but it basically means it's going to be causing a big problem. Number 4 is that the corporation that's responsible has a terrible history of lying to the public about the risks and what has occurred, treats their employees poorly, and cuts corners. So these are really important things initially to contend with. Just your basic, this is what's going on, and it should be everybody's concern. Right now, Japan is asking for international help. They're open to it. This is new. I think it's just because they're too proud. They're not doing anything about it from the beginning, but now they're just having to admit that it needs a wider effort. They need help. It's not bad to need help. I mean, my message to the Japanese and anybody else out there, whether it be countries, corporations, or different group organizations, sometimes you have to collaborate. Maybe, I got to get over my pride and my ego, and I have to ask for help on video production, let's say. So, I just need to put this information out there. It's still in my prayers all the time. Another thing I want to throw out there before I end is that news that radiation detectors, Geiger counters in Hawaiian Islands, which is part of the United States, are spiking over the last couple days. So, is this a wave of radioactive energy and particles, gamma rays, or just the other type of particles which are inundating the Hawaiian region? Could it be flawed? Could it be disinfo? I don't know. But, they're right in the line of all this mess, because it's circulating by air, by water, by solid objects. It's circulating, and we're all going to be affected by this. So, take care, everybody. Just stay informed and pray, because I really believe in the power of prayer.